concentrating 200 people with mental health, drug abuse, social problems in one small space in one densely populated neighborhood is a recipe for disaster.
A homeless shelter that sparked major backlash before opening in Portland's Pearl District is now facing the threat of legal action. A Pearl District landlord has filed notice of a possible lawsuit against the city, claiming the shelter has hurt the surrounding neighborhood. Neighbors say they support helping people off the streets, but many believe the concerns they raised months ago are now becoming reality. Fox 12's Mackenzie Richmond reports.
When plans for this low-barrier overnight homeless shelter along Northwest Northrop and 15th were first announced, hundreds of people packed community meetings warning the city was moving too fast without addressing the root causes of homelessness. Some worried that concentrating 200 high-needs individuals in Portland's Pearl District would create new issues.
Will there be drugs, violence, garbage, defecation?
I emailed the mayor, our city council members, and 2 senators at least 20 times, literally stating my case, as well as I'm sure thousands of residents, and I got nothing back. I don't think the mayor truly understands what the crisis is, which is a drug, mental health crisis.
Despite the pushback, the shelter on Northwest Northrop Street opened in September as part of Mayor Keith Wilson's effort to end unhoused homelessness. By December, it had 200 beds. City leaders said the goal was to quickly move people indoors at night and reduce street camping. And neighbors say that part worked.
I think there's a lot less tents.
I spoke with more than a dozen people living in the Pearl. Everyone said getting people inside overnight is a step in the right direction.
I'm all for sheltering people. I don't have any problem with that.
But they also say shelter alone is not enough.
It's a place to sleep, but it really doesn't provide services that would try to get people actually off the street. Getting people off the street is a start. It certainly isn't the end game.
Critics argue speed may have come at the expense of long-term solutions. Now, one Pearl District apartment complex is turning to the courts to hold the city accountable. The Oro apartment complex filed a tort claim against the city on February 18th for inverse condemnation, nuisance, and negligence in the operation of the shelter. In January, the apartment complex hired a private security company, Echelon Investigative Services, to monitor conditions around the shelter and write a report to file with their claim. The 48-page report documents open and daily drug use, incapacitated individuals, piles of trash, biological waste, and major safety issues in the blocks surrounding the shelter. The attorney representing the apartment complex, John DiLorenzo, says his client intends to sue the city if it doesn't take steps to fix the alleged issues by March 15th. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson responded directly to the claim, saying, quote, Mr. DiLorenzo has said publicly that creating sufficient shelter space is critical for the city's effort to enforce its camping regulations. He was right to support sufficient shelter space before, and he is wrong to oppose this new shelter now. The mayor has argued expanding shelter capacity is necessary to crack down on street camping, and he says the Northrop shelter is part of a broader strategy to, quote, solve the crisis, though he did not specifically address the concerns listed in the claim. Pearl District businesses and residents say the measurable impacts tied to the shelter demand accountability.
It's a lot of trash piled up, even the feces sometimes. It's very sad.
There's people over there doing fentanyl, doing drugs, making deals.
Because the shelter is overnight only, neighbors say the impact is most noticeable each morning when guests are asked to leave.
They could let them out in the morning and they come down here in the area.
I just encountered 2 folks that are smoking fentanyl. First thing in the morning.
I really encountered with one of them and I was so scared. I have to run away from him and he kept following me. At one point I was so scared of my life.
To better understand that transition, I went to the shelter as the doors opened to see it for myself. Within minutes, I counted 102 people walking out the door and into the residential Pearl. Only a handful walked in a different direction.
How do you feel about that?
That's uncomfortable.
As the Pearl community continues adjusting to the shelter's presence, most agree those in need deserve support. The question now, is this model of shelter helping people in need move forward, or simply relocating a deeply rooted drug and mental health crisis?
Months in, and many Pearl District residents say the long-term support and resources they feared were missing still haven't arrived. And now they want the city to answer for what's currently happening and what will happen next. In the Pearl District, Mackenzie Richmond, Fox 12 Oregon.